Okay, Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, is sinking. Now, it briefly fell below $10,000 a coin over the weekend after, of course, last week, President Trump in tweets slammed Bitcoin and Facebook's Libra coin, and lawmakers also expressing a lot of concern about Libra. Now, amidst all that doom and gloom, you might have missed that a company called Blockstack initiated the first SEC-approved token sale, and that could prove very significant for the entire crypto industry. Blockstack co-founder and CEO Muneeb Ali joins us now. Muneeb, thanks for coming on.
Happy to be here.
All right, well, let's talk about Blockstack. I want to get into the token sale, but just fill in all our viewers who may not have heard about the company, what Blockstack is trying to do.
Well, Blockstack has done what Facebook is trying to do. So it is already a decentralized computing network. It is a permissionless blockchain. What Facebook is proposing is a permission system, and they are trying to take a very different approach from what we have done. So to roll back a little bit, Blockstack is a project that got started at Princeton University, where I did my PhD, and it's a bunch of computer scientists who have solved the hardcore computer science challenges at the core layer, and we have a thriving community of developers who have built more than 170 applications on top of this platform already.
So these are dApps, right? Decentralized apps.
Yes, decentralized applications, or you can just call them applications. They're just normal applications that are just more secure, more private. They respect your data ownership and privacy.
Are there certain industries right now that are particularly keen on launching dApps versus perhaps an app through the App Store?
So what we have noticed is that if you're concerned about data privacy in general, for example, let's say that you are dealing with GDPR issues, or you're building a healthcare application where it's very important that this data remains in the hands of the people that it's supposed to, those are kind of like the early application use cases that we are noticing. But in general, the most interesting trend that we are noticing is that developers are very much aligned with the vision of what we are trying to do, right? So if you are someone who feels frustrated by things that big tech is doing, or you feel like there is no alternative available to Facebook or Google or the other large tech monopolies, then I don't think policy is the only answer here. There are technological solutions that are also present that can be used, and that actually don't require any changes in existing regulations.
Now, your token sale is underway right now, right? It launched last week. Are you guys calling this an ICO? We remember all the ICOs that the SEC went after. But I mean, fair to say, this is an SEC-approved ICO, basically, and this could be the new model for raising money for a crypto company.
Yes, I try to stay away from the name ICO as much as possible. I use it in quotes. And this is a regular token offering. It has been qualified by the SEC, and that's the work we did with them over the last 10 months, where we're sitting down with the SEC trying to figure out a framework where we can distribute these tokens, where the public US markets can also be open to it. A lot of other projects were banning US investors, and they were trying to go offshore. They're trying to not tackle the hard problems head on. This is what we have done.
I understand the appeal for developers, but for regular laymen who are trying to use these products, as I understand it, these are going to be utility tokens that they get. It's not actually getting an equity stake in the company that's being developed. So is that enough incentive for regular folk to say, hey, I'm excited about this? Or you think this is a positive because it's weeding out people who are trying to make a quick buck?
Yeah, so there are two sides to that. The first is that the utility that a normal average user sees in an application is just the utility in that app, right? Like it's like right now we have application where you can do secure document signing, or you have a private like Google Docs alternative, or you can do your taxes in a more private way. That's the utility of that application, and users would just go ahead and use it. The token is a fundamental part of the network because there can't be a single company in the middle that is a gatekeeper that basically decides what can be registered on this network and what cannot be. So that's the utility of the token, where people can have basically access to the network. Now, on the flip side, imagine that the first 100,000 users of Facebook had no financial upside with the success of Facebook.
There's no incentive there, yeah.
Right? Like only people who had equity interests, like stockholders of Facebook, had any financial upside. And with these crypto regulated token offerings, that changes because you can potentially have a financial upside, but you're getting all the required disclosures and there's full transparency.
But do you think that the developers that you're working with are excited about the financial upside, or are they excited about working in a more secure environment? Because I feel like there's a number of conversations, a lot of which talk past each other. I mean, it sounds like you basically hang out with engineers who are really focused on data privacy. We mostly talk to people in public markets who want to make money.
Right.
They
want the token to go up.
Right.
Is it mutually exclusive?
And I suppose that you would almost prefer that your users are focused on the privacy first, right? Because like if any project is good in any industry, like the money will probably follow.
Yes, and so far all the 170 applications, those developers actually have no interest in the tokens right now because they couldn't get their hands on the token. And we have a developer incentive program where these developers could be like early miners on the network. Traditional miners are providing compute resources. These developers are actually contributing with their time and energy and by building applications on top. And in terms of capital markets, I usually end up being that bridge between the developer community and the traditional investors who have funded the company in the past with around like $50 million.
And then just in terms of the developer community right now, if you think of like developer liquidity, are people still excited about building apps for the App Store, for Google Play, or does it seem like developers actually want to do something different and that blockchain applications, whether it's Blockstack or other players, are where folks are that meme over the weekend, right? The 10x engineer. Like, where is that guy going? Is he looking for something that's more decentralized, or are people still excited about your traditional, more commercial routes?
Yes. So that's our view is that decentralized computing, what we are building, is a natural evolution of cloud computing. And in many ways, if you're a developer who doesn't care about blockchains, doesn't care about cryptocurrencies, this is just easier, cheaper, faster. Right? And a lot of our developers, they compare it to traditional cloud platforms like Google's App Engine or Firebase, the company that Google acquired, that they go like, oh, this looks similar to Firebase or Google App Engine, but it's decentralized and more private.
Muneeb, very quickly, what did you make of President Trump's tweets about crypto?
I think it's great for our industry. Like it's like just the fact that he's tweeting about it means that he can no longer ignore it. And
you can't be in denial that this isn't happening.
It is not happening, and slowly we can start the process of educating everyone, including the president himself.
All right, Muneeb Ali of Blockstack, thanks for joining us.